Tony? Okay, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
A new album, Serpent Rings. Tell me some things about it.
Well, it's the 21st album that we've made. It's called Serpent Rings. Took about 3 months to record, but it took me, I think, probably 14 months to write the songs that went on the album. What else can I tell you? Let me see. Rodney Matthews is the guy that did the artwork for the album. We've got a new bass player called Dennis Ward. I think pretty well known in Germany and things. I know you're in Greece, but pretty well known guy. And played great on the album, sang great as well. Sang great with Bob. So, he was a welcome participant in the album.
Firstly, you are the one who's writing the songs. What is your inspiration?
It's lots of things. Could be anything. I mean, for each song, it's obviously something different. I spend a long time. Trying to find a subject to write about. So, it could be like, I don't know. There's like quite a few different aspects on the album, that I've written about. It could be anything, Someone could say something to me, and I might think, oh, that's a good title, or that's I don't know, or see something on the news, anything like that. It's like anything can be an inspiration when you're writing songs. So I'm always on the lookout for things, and I write things down all the time. So that's about it, really.
Tony, while I was listening to the album, I realized that many songs raise important issues, like the man or the madman or Messiah. Is that a statement? It's something you are sensitive to?
I really don't know. I mean, basically, like I said, there are things that I like to, that I think I know a little bit about, and I just sort of just start writing it, and things come to me, and sometimes they'll fit in the song, sometimes they won't. But each song is like a very small story. So, that's really how I do. Which is why it takes so bloody long to write the songs. But that's really it, Inspiration from like anywhere, and once I've got the title, I'll say, I know where I'm going then with the song, obviously. Once I've got the title, it seems to come quickly, but it just takes a long time to work out what I'm actually going to write.
Rodney Matthew has made an amazing cover again. What's the meaning behind the cover of the album?
I got the idea for the cover from the song that is called "The Serpent Rings," and obviously there's a knight in the front, and there are lots of Magnum symbols around on the artwork, and of course there's that giant serpent there. It's sort of a mystical mystical thing, like the actual song that I got it from. It started off being a fantasy song, and then I realised it was. I got into it was like as if it was a creed thing, and it was sort of warning you not to join a creed, if you like. And it also, I also put some things in there that were real rather than fantasy. There was, I lived by a forest called the Mercia Forest, and I started building on it and things, and it was, I put that into it, and I always used to, well, I still do now, but not as often. I used to walk there with my dogs, and now you can't go there, and they've built houses all over it, and so that's sort of gone. So that was like I suppose a real part of it, but a lot of it was fantasy, and so like a fairy tale almost, I suppose. But then I just put some real stuff in there as well.
I see. I didn't hear a classic ballad in this album.
That's probably right. I don't know. I just write things as they come, and it wasn't there. To me, this album's rockier and a bit heavier than normal. I think you'll find, yes, there isn't a ballad as such, but there are very slow parts like a ballad in various songs. They break down, and there are sort of musical parts that would be interpreted as ballad, like a ballad. But on lots of the songs, they all break down, or they speed up, or they change dramatically. So that was good for me. I liked what we ended up with.
Are you satisfied with the result of the album?
The album, yes, very much so. Yeah, yes, I love the album. I've got to say, it's some great playing from all the guys. Really good playing and great singing, and everything's. I really do like the album a lot. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. Yeah.
We like the album too, Tony. And I want to ask you something. Bands like you, with a very long career, usually release albums every 5 or more years, although you release new material almost every 2 years. What is the recipe to keep moving and still being on high level?
I think my philosophy is I like to go forward, not just stay still, go back and do old things. I think to keep a band alive, you've got to go forward and do new songs, or approach things differently, but you've got to move forward. Being a songwriter, I wouldn't want to be playing the same every time we play the same things. To me, I would be very bored with that. So you go forward. I write songs, and that's the start of it all. And Bob's the same, has the same feeling. We go forward, and we've got lots of things to express, and you've got to write new material. Otherwise, you get very stale and bored.
Could you please describe me the process for a song to end up in the album?
Oh, let's see. Yes. Well, years ago, I used to write lots and lots of songs when we were going to do an album. But Now I don't write so many songs, but I concentrate on the actual songs more. So I think that they're a little more progressive than they were years ago. But I think I end up writing about 14 or 15 songs, but gradually they come down one by one. When I'm thinking maybe, then one's not working, I'll dump that. I know I have to have like about an hour's music. So I judge it by that, sort of. When I'm in the studio, we invariably have more than an hour's music. But I aim at that. I think that's the criteria. I mean, years ago, an album would be 18 minutes a side or something, which is like crazy. Now it's, you can make it really long. But I tend to, again, it's one of those things where I think over an hour and people get bored, or maybe that's just me, I don't know. But you can put a lot of yourself into 1 hour, I think. And I think that's just a good time to, sort of time to sit down and listen to a record. It's 1 hour, I think. So that's what I do.
What about the lineup? It's the first time recording with Dennis. Tell me some things about the current lineup.
Yes, well, the current lineup now is Dennis Ward, plays bass and sings, Rick Benson keyboards, strings and piano and whatever, Lee Morris drums, Bob Catley singer, obviously me. We also had an orchestra on there, which was Wolf Kerchek. He sort of arranged and played. His orchestra played the on. Let me see what track it is. Where Are You Eden? And on Serpent Rings.
How is it possible, despite the changes in the lineup, to keep your musical identity?
Well, I guess, like, as long as, I know that I didn't even know Dennis until he actually played and sang on the record. And but when someone is a really good musician, that's when it's great, and they can play exactly what a thing that excites the other musicians. That's when it's good, You don't actually. I never really tell anyone, you've got to play this, you've got to play that. I just do basic demos in my own studio. Obviously for Bob to sing, so it gives Bob the idea of what the song is. But like then Rick Benson, he's like a superb keyboard player, and I don't need to tell him what to do. I might put a few little ideas down, but then he'll pick them up and maybe discard them, maybe do something else completely different. Same with Dennis on the bass, and especially Lee Morris on drums. I just program up a very simple-ish drum pattern or something, and Lee comes in and puts on the real drums, and he adds like a million% to it all. So that's the way we do it. They've got to be good musicians to start with. Anybody can copy things. It's nothing copying something, but thinking up a really good bass line or a great keyboard part, that's a whole different thing.
Any favorite song in the album?
I've got a few, actually. I kept listening in my car really loud, and I like a lot of them. I mean, I don't know whether to, I like Man a lot. Man is good. And I like Madman or Messiah. I like Where Are You Eden? Archway of Tears. You Can't Run Faster Than Bullets. I would go on and tell you I like them all, which I do. I can't sort of choose one. It's too sort of soon, really. Maybe in a year's time I could tell you just one that I like more than the others, but I can't at the moment.
Perfect. And Tony, your tour, when it starts, is there any possibility to see you in Greece again?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, we had a great gig in Greece. I'm looking forward to going there. Yeah, absolutely, most assuredly. It was well, I loved it. I enjoyed it very much. It was great. Can't wait to go back to Greece. I love it. Very good.
We hope to see you in Greece. Tony, what Magnum means to you?
Well, it's been my life for about 40 odd years, so it's sort of it means a lot. It's sort of very important to me, put it that way. Very, very important, and I think the same with Bob. We've been doing it for 40 odd years or something. So we must think it's worth doing.
Your favorite period or your worst? Whatever you want to say about.
I don't know. I mean, like I've just said to you, we've been playing for over 40 years. It's a long time to think back over and be unprepared for that question. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, and do you want to say something to your Greek fans?
Yes. How I enjoyed playing in Greece, and I'm now, same with Bob and all the guys, really looking forward to coming back to Greece and playing again. I'd like to play them a lot more often, to be quite truthful. I'm a vegetarian, and I had some great food as well. It was really nice food. So, we're looking forward to coming back to Greece. Yeah.
We are looking forward too. Yes, thank you very much, Tony. I would like to thank you for your time. We are big fans of Magnum. We really love you, all the Greek people, and we hope to see you in Greece again and listen to the new album.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.